With Honkai Star Rail just around the corner and coming very soon, I figured I would do a very brief what you need to know kind of guide as far as the terminology and the systems of the game go. That way, for those of you who want a bit of a leg up as far as terminology and some of these things go, you'll be prepared for the launch of the game. So Honkai Star Rail is obviously a turn-based RPG gacha game, and like most gacha games, there will be 4-star characters and 5-star characters. 5-star characters being more rare and stronger. So we should probably start off with classes or roles in Honkai Star Rail, or as Hoyoverse likes to refer to it as in the game, is paths. Okay, now you can classify it into 2 categories is how I would do it personally, but for the sake of this video, we will turn it into 3 categories just to keep it simple and very legible, okay? The first being DPS, the second being buffs and debuffs, and the third being support roles. Okay, so we'll start off with the DPS roles, the first being the destruction path, which essentially means this unit will fight really strong when he is alone. When he's by himself, when he's the last man standing, he will do more damage, essentially. Okay. Then we have the Path of the Hunt, which means this unit will do really strong single target damage, right? Probably really good in boss fights and things like that. And then we have the Erudition Path, which means this unit will do really strong AoE damage, right? They do AoE damage. So multiple targets, cast a spell, hits all 3 of them or all 4 of them or however many. Okay. Then we will move on to buffs and debuffers. The buffer being the Harmony Path. And this character obviously will buff your party and increase their attack or their haste or, things of this nature. Then we have the Nihility, which is a debuffer, which means it will debuff your enemies, making them weaker, take more damage, so on and so forth. Okay, then we move on to the support roles. The Preservation Path is like tanks, right? They can take a lot of the damage, throw up shields, that kind of class. And then we have the Abundance Path, which is essentially your healers, right? They heal your wounded allies. And that essentially covers the roles or the classes for Honkai Star Rail. Personally, like I said, I would take buffs and debuffers and categorize them with the support roles of tank and healer, because that's what they're doing. They're supporting the rest of the team. So but whatever floats your boat, whatever makes it easier to understand, that is essentially the roles or paths of Honkai Star Rail. The next thing that I would briefly like to go over is traces, which is essentially your talents. And the cool thing about how Honkai Star Rail is doing it is that it is a talent tree. Now, what would make this really awesome, in my opinion, is if they didn't allow you to max out the whole tree. Like if at max level, you can just have everything in the tree anyway. Kind of making decisions on what you want to talent into is almost kind of pointless, you know what I mean? But if you have only so many points and then you're left with the decision, I would rather take this passive over this passive because this passive will help me in this boss fight, so on and so forth. That allows for more nuance to gameplay, and I think would be really interesting, but I personally don't know that information. So if anybody does know, please let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, talent tree, I like it. I've always enjoyed talent trees, so I think it's a great thing. But talents, traces, talents. Very next thing I would like to go over is weapons and gear, because this is a very fun part of RPGs for me, is the weapons and gear. So weapons. Honkai Star Rail refers to them as light cones. Light cones are weapons, weapons are light cones. And that terminology will catch up to you, I'm sure, eventually. But just like all weapons in most gacha games, you will find materials for them to upgrade them, so on and so forth. But one very important fact is that the light cone must correspond to the path of the character you wish to equip it to, right? So if you have a light cone that is from the Hunt path, it needs to go on a character that is of the Hunt path. And this will unlock an additional ability, yada, yada. Just know that light cones gotta correspond with the path. light cones, or weapons. And the very last thing that I would like to go over in this video is gear, or as Honkai Star Rail refers to it as relics. With relics, there are 6 available slots, which is pretty nice because it leads for more offset pieces, right? Not only that, but there is potential for 3 2-set bonuses, or there is an option in Honkai Star Rail for a 5-piece bonus. So you can get 5 pieces of the same set and still have room for an off piece, which is very interesting. I feel like it opens up a little bit more intricacy as far as the gear system goes in Honkai Star Rail, which is pretty fun. You know, you can go a 4 set and a 2 set, or 3 2 sets, or a 5 set and an off piece, right? So very interesting, very excited to play the game. Guys, if you found this video to be helpful at all, as far as maybe helping you understand the terminology of the game, or kind of helping you understand the systems, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and leaving me a comment down below if I missed anything. Please let me know if I missed anything. I want to be in the loop as well. And smash that subscribe button. See you guys in the next video.